Who's that?
Chad, his combine did a good job. Where we boarded it far north, I'm missing a pole. I've been in there lately.
Call the October 30th special meeting to order. Open meetings posters on the wall over here. And the listing or the meeting notice was in the Sydney paper on the website and full schools. Various places around town. Roll call.
Mr. Benish.
Here.
Mr. Borges.
Here.
Mrs. Ernest.
Here.
Mr. Rushman.
Here.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Here.
Mr. Wiedemann.
Yes.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ask that everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask for approval of the agenda. Roll call.
Mr. Benish.
Yes.
Mr. Borges.
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest.
Yes.
Mr. Rushman.
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann.
Yes. Hearings and persons to address the board? Anyone? Okay. We will move on to the regular agenda. You do not need to excuse a board member. Do you have any special recognitions?
I just got put in there.
Nope. Okay. All right, 3.3, review, consider and take action regarding purchase of a bus.
So we extended out to 3 different companies for buses. We are not looking at any type of air brakes for these route buses that we need, so we're kind of narrowed down the options for what we're looking for. So we're looking for hydraulic brakes, mainly because the air brakes take another level of training, so we want to make sure that our drivers are equipped to drive with the hydraulic brakes. On here we have just quotes from National, and then there's also American Bus Sales, and then the last one is Masters, a more local one. Take a look at the one that sort of looks like this. This was the newest one that came through from Masters Transportation. All of these would be the hydraulic brakes, and then they're just sort of listed as Bluebird buses, and they have kind of what we need. Then there's 2024s to 2023s, and then the miles, the heading for this one should say miles above here, so there's 19,000 miles, 15,000 miles, all the way through on the Masters quote. National came through with a quote today with the hydraulic brakes, and theirs is in the 40,000 mile range with the 84,900 coming from Tulsa. So when we look at what Masters offers for getting the bus here, it's $2,000 for them to deliver the bus, but if they're in Kearney, so we can come over and just pick up the bus in Kearney. These guys will charge us $2.50 per mile with National, and then I believe that American should have theirs as well on theirs for delivery charges. So yeah, so we're looking at that 71 passenger bus. It's kind of up to you guys as far as breaking down each one of the buses and kind of talking through which ones we think. We know that each one of these companies is reliable. They're at all of our conferences, and we know that they sell great buses all around the country. So there's three pretty good quotes out there.
Matt, those quotes that you sent to us, I think on the 14th,
Yeah.
of the 3 Masters buses that were in the $50,000 range,
Uh,
are those no longer?
Yeah, no longer on those ones.
Okay.
I'm missing something where there's, on the national, I don't see the quotes. Oh, there.
Oh, it's not, it's below, I'm sorry.
Each one,
It's
okay,
below.
I got it, never mind, I gotta look.
So the Ozark one for sure you don't want because it's air brake.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 of the nationals are air brake, aren't they?
Yep.
And 2 of the American bus are air brakes. Last 2.
And those are the ones we don't.
We don't want to
We don't want.
hydraulic.
I'm assuming you want diesel, not gas, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good decision. However, I mean, when talking with Heidi, she, you know, I would rather have a diesel engine, so that's,
Really? We have 1, 2, and then 1's from Masters. 1 from each of the other companies and 1 from Masters.
It's really not that hard to get certified in air brakes.
yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah, so that's coming from drivers on the committee, just on the air brake
It's
thing.
just a test.
Yeah.
Written test. I mean, you give us more options.
Yeah, I could,
I'm just saying. I'm surprised, but yeah, I'm just surprised. They already taken it.
I think hard to believe 1 bus with 11 miles is the same price as 1 with 15,000 miles.
I'm gonna say that they probably just printed that one as 11,000.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
so 1-way delivery from Tulsa would be about 1,800 bucks.
And the delivery from American is just a standard $1,000, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yes, 1,000 per unit.
What does noise suppression switch mean? I mean,
Noise suppression switch.
is that like,
I don't know if it
it
is.
says an interior options, full acoustic headliner noise suppression switch. Is that like white noise so that the bus driver can't hear the screaming?
Was there anything else on these that you wanted besides hydraulic brakes?
No, I mean, I didn't think Jake was too, I don't think his bus currently has air conditioning. I don't think that was a deal breaker for him at all, or for the kids that ride the bus.
Are these all automatic transmission?
Yeah.
Mileage 20,000 to 40,000, that's pretty specific.
I
I think they're quoting lot, so
Okay.
they have like 8, between 20 and 40,000, something like that. Is what I'm thinking as far as the,
So, I mean, like on the American bus compared to the national bus, I would say 15,000, and you take 8,000 more miles on a bus roughly.
yeah.
But what was their delivery?
1,000.
Just 1,000?
Yeah. It's just on the bottom bullets there on the bottom left.
Is servicing gonna be an issue on the ends?
I don't believe so.
That was just
We've done internationals and bluebirds with our guy down at Early Diesel.
You can work on it.
Yeah.
And did we see depreciation in general?
We have it in the budget for this year as well, so.
Oh, general.
Yeah. So either way on either depreciation or general fund, like, we can do either.
Do the national or masters have warranty? There's only one on the American that has the remaining manufacturer warranty, and then the other ones are just kind of extended available.
I'm assuming on these, on the masters that the warranty is gonna be,
Whatever's left on it.
remaining, yeah.
I see. How much money do we put into a bus every 5 years?
We put in,
Roughly.
we put in money to, into a bus, like mechanic charges? Oh, gosh, that's gonna be tough.
The coach bus has been good since we
Yeah.
got it, except for the breakdown last year in military, but
Yeah.
otherwise that's been pretty minimal.
A year? Yeah, we can figure out how much we spent on buses probably. Ish.
Yeah, outside of Jennifer's old one, I mean, that one cost us quite a bit last year in just, and the year before.
Just maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, we had to send that one in for a brand new transmission that was under warranty and things like that, so.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because here they get a powertrain warranty for 4,900, is it worth that, or is it not?
For 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's for 60 months.
I know it's gonna cost more than that to fix Jennifer's bus.
4,900.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be about twice that.
You put more probably. Depending on what they found out in the motor.
I think about 110,000 before shipping. On that.
If you buy the warranty.
Yeah, that's what, that's with freight and warranty, you're looking about 110 roughly. 5 years newer too, from the national bus. Mileage is about the same. This, that's the first American bus one. It's 2002. Yeah.
20,000 was 103,000.
Compare it to that, the national one right next to it. You get 5 years newer for, but you're spending
Well, I'm looking at the
30,000.
2020 national bus on the front page.
There you're going back to air brake again. but-
Is that air? That says hydraulic.
Right on the top one.
That's a gas motor. Gas
Hydraulic
motor.
brake. It's a
Oh,
gas
there's
motor.
2 on there. I was wondering where they were all at. I got you.
There's 3. Those 2 have hydraulic brakes.
I got you.
We're only with this no air
Okay. That's better.
But it is gas.
So if you compare the national bus to the American bus, it's $16,000 difference for just the years, not necessarily miles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they could guarantee a 20 here, that looks awesome compared to 40 and 5 years newer, but that's 20 to 40, that's pretty tough to, that's when they get one cent for 45,000. That's how I see that, that's how I see that going.
Thoughts?
Did you do
So this one that's
the snap on the mileage?
the
You said
2017,
1,800.
the national,
That's the one I was comparing to.
it has ACT. And the diesel motor and hydraulics.
Which according to this other is about $15,000 for the option.
And I know it's
13 to 15.
It's an older model, but
Yeah.
it's just 40,000 miles.
Well, I think you're gonna end up getting screwed on this mileage if you did that. They're gonna give you
That
their high
price is for
mileage.
40,000 miles.
Absolutely, I mean, probably.
20, oh, that's one.
How many? Oh, 40K.
We don't need air, we don't need to spill the spoil on these kids either.
We already do.
If you could get air, it's kind of a bonus, that's fine, it's a good deal.
First thing I looked at.
I like air.
Do our drivers like adjustable armrests? They highlight that.
Did you have any recommendations?
I mean, we just worked with masters before on stuff, so, I mean, I guess having the more local one is, you know, to me, a little bit more of a preference, but, that's just because we've worked with them before.
And they, one time, we were gonna buy a bus, and they said, you don't want this bus.
Yeah,
Because you're too, so, which was nice that they did that.
But their buses are coming from St. Louis.
yeah, and I think we'd pick up in, Kearney though.
You mean coming from St. Louis?
Oh, they just have locations in different areas. So there's one that's in Kearney, one that's in St. Louis, and then one's in Kansas City.
So these buses come from either St. Louis, Kansas City, or Ozark.
The Ozarks.
Oh, that's what, oh, okay, yeah.
That's where
Now
they're
I see
located.
that, I thought that was like the brand.
Does these national buses come with cruise control?
Do you
I would
want a bus
assume
that has
so.
cruise
I
control?
think they all have them,
Do they?
as new as these are. So all these Masters ones, are they 71 passenger, or what are they? 'Cause it
Yeah.
doesn't say.
All 71 passengers.
So I know some of these other ones were 71 or 77.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Diesel just gets you in trouble.
Gels up.
Just tempts you to pass. Yeah, it gels up.
It's a governed bus. Don't pass anything. Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 2017 bus from National Bus Sales. The price of $84,900.
Was there warranty on that?
Let's say that.
On this one.
I make motions. You guys can do with that what you wish.
Yeah, I'm thinking a second.
This is one here.
How big is diesel?
Air brakes.
I mean, I know on my farm it's big, but how big is it for the school?
All our other buses are decently big.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Heidi's feeling sick today too, so.
I think they're small.
smaller buses may need gas, but
Yeah.
like the 30-passenger ones
Oh, the
are gas.
short buses?
Yeah, but the bigger buses.
Coach is decent.
the bigger ones are all
Big,
diesel.
so for sure diesel as well.
You have had gelling up issues in the past,
Mhm.
when we've had it come in.
Guarantee your miles per gallon's gonna be a lot better with the diesel than it
Yeah.
is with the gas.
It should last longer too.
Mhm.
Well, I was kind of mostly looking at the 3 years and 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
The 17 is 5,000 cheaper, and it's got AC, so you can almost say that's 20,000 worth of money there. I'd second it.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the 2017 National Plus quote. More discussion.
Were you talking about the second bid row from National?
Yeah, yes, 17 diesel.
The second page.
Two.
It's got air brakes, so.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
17 diesel?
No, the
one you recommend, 2017. right?
That's the one that's
Yeah.
the one, yeah, okay.
That's the
No,
Yeah.
my bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Does it come ready to say, I mean, do we have to stop somewhere and put Leyton on it and all that good stuff?
I believe they'll put that on there for us.
They should.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Borges,
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest,
Yes.
Mr. Rushman,
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mr. Bench.
Yes.
Review, consider, and take action regarding the resignation of Amy Thacker as first grade teacher. Letter was on
Give me just a quick second here.
the, okay.
Need to read this anyways.
Issues?
Oh, yeah, just a slight issue with the. Okay, perfect, I'm good to go. Okay, so Mrs. Thacker's resignation is listed before you. Amy's here tonight, you want to talk a little bit, Amy?
Put me on the spot. I guess I can talk. I, unfortunately, my husband lost his job back at the beginning of October, correct? And so we had been in the process of, looking for jobs and trying to get jobs in the area. Basically, he had quite a few interviews, but nothing really developed from there. And so he ended up finding a job in the Grand Island area. And he starts on Monday in the Grand Island, his job. And so I had put in my resignation with my last day being the 20th of December, finishing out the semester. It's not ideal. I understand that it's not ideal. But he's the main breadwinner, and I'm one where he's going. The commute would be not even feasible. It's 4 hours away. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave, and, so.
Yeah, I appreciate Mrs. Thacker coming in and talking. Typically, we don't see contracts she she understands, she's on contract until May. Finding a suitable replacement for her in that amount of time could be difficult. This came up a couple of years ago, or actually it was just last year ago. Yeah. So those feelings are definitely known by the board for sure. I mean, in our spot, finding a suitable replacement might be difficult. But I think we might be able to find a suitable replacement. But if we wouldn't, I mean, that would be a different subject entirely.
We have a son that could do it.
No.
Because we have another teacher that's going on maternity leave here in about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark. I think, honestly, it might be sooner, but that's
How many kids in the first grade class?
12.
Yeah. See, it's a big group.
Second grade?
9.
8. She's here.
Oh, sorry.
First grade is 11.
Obviously, this puts us in a pickle.
We've made a decision before. It's not easy. I don't think any family decisions are easy. We all have to make decisions. But this puts our kids in bad position. This puts our administration in bad position. I don't want to set a bad precedent for anything future down the road either. I think we have to be fair with our teachers, as fair as we are with families and patrons of the school district. I guess there's my 2 cents on it.
I mean, we have had some interest in the position, so I think we could fill the position with an outside person. We've kind of been looking in desperation mode of like, how could we do this with the colleges around the area? So I think that we've had some interest in the position, so we have that going for us. But that's kind of one of those things that, we, if we're able to.
And ideally, we would like to get a December graduate because I think we would much rather have a teaching position rather than a substitute position. Because a lot of the December graduates will come and substitute for that final semester, and so that could be well as they're going.
So we can make it as contingent upon finding a suitable replacement.
As I recall, this is just slightly different circumstances.
Yeah.
And it's also different lead time.
Yeah, but last week you didn't give us much time.
No. And it's different circumstance.
If we accept it as presented and we don't get a teacher, then what?
Yeah, and another thing that is a con is to say that each time, then you have to make up your mind, is this different or is it not different? And so if you cut it right, it's a lot easier.
I think you're leaving yourself out to hang
Could
for future situations pretty bad. It's no offense to anybody, it's just.
I have a room in my house you could live in and go to Grand Island on the weekends.
Well, I mean, I'm already doing the 8 weeks. And I'll, to be truthful with you, when the fire at Vital Licks happened, and that's the reason why we moved to Sydney 6 years ago, they didn't let me out of my contract because they considered a 2-hour commute feasible. And so we were apart for 9.5 months, and I won't do that again. I will not do it. It's too
It's
hard
understandable.
mentally on my family.
I'll make the motion. Accept the resignation only if we have a contingency plan and getting someone else that'll, we can find somebody suitable.
So what's a contingency plan? If we don't find nothing, we still don't have a teacher at the first semester. We're here for our kids.
And we can cover that, those courses. I think that's why the motion would be contingent upon finding a suitable replacement.
But again,
If we don't get a teacher, then
she's
what?
already told us she won't be.
She's leaving no matter what.
I'd like to know what the answer to Sam's question is. If we don't find somebody, then what?
Then we're not putting our kids first at that moment, and the patrons who pay taxes.
I totally sympathetic with the whole situation. But
It sucks.
we gotta look out for the school.
I'm not aware of what happens if we do not allow somebody out. What happens to that person?
We hold their, well, we take it to the Professional Practice Commission, and then they review the situation and, look at it as a breach of contract.
And then what?
I would say potentially up to a year of not being able to teach.
Oh,
Suspension of license.
Yeah.
And I don't, in this case, I don't like that, because it's not a win. I mean, this is obviously very difficult.
But either way, we're gonna have to have a teacher.
Either way, we have to have a teacher.
So to kind of answer what Sam and Chad are saying, obviously, option one, we want to find a teacher, a full-time teacher. But option two would be to find a long-term substitute to cover that as needed.
How easy is it to find a long-term substitute? I mean, I know we struggle with substitutes, we struggle with pairs, and if we
Yeah.
have another teacher leaving, we're putting ourselves in a bad hole for our students, which makes your guys' jobs harder too as administration.
I would think worst-case scenario, you would look at potentially combining the classroom. That would be the worst-case scenario.
Why don't we table it till November and you guys see if you can find one?
If we table it, you guys can't start searching for a new teacher, can you?
Oh,
Oh, we were,
Yeah.
that's what we did.
Which is only, what, 2 weeks?
It's on
November
on the
is
site.
14th.
You table it, we still have the same issue next month.
And actually, we have,
We do, but we'd know if we had one hired.
I don't think you'll know.
we do have one applicant currently already.
We have an applicant.
yeah,
For a full-time position or for this?
full-time.
Yeah, can we, is there any hiring of somebody interim or not?
No. I don't think so.
What's that?
Can you do an interim?
Oh, just like
So,
Seems like a long
I don't know if
time.
somebody wants to come on in that,
yeah.
Be like a
in
long-term
that
sub.
role.
So like,
That'd be
there's a
helpful.
way that you could do it is if we did find, like, say, a December graduate that would come in, you could say a couple of scenarios. We've talked about this a little bit. Number one, you would finish the semester, you would be we would continue to possibly advertise depending on, it's almost kind of like a tryout for that person coming in and put them into an interview, and then if we think they're doing a good job, we go ahead and say, we're gonna hire this person moving forward. I don't know, this is a unique situation for me, especially. I have not had this happen before, but that's either here or there.
Does the applicant that you have received, is that person promising?
It will be a December graduate from UNK, they're currently student teaching in Bridgeport.
The reason I ask about interim is I don't know on short notice what if you're not happy? What you're ready to hire?
Well, that's with anything.
That's, yeah,
Not
that's,
anytime you hire someone, you're not,
I'm not worried about that scenario. Because we can work with people, we do it all the time, or try to, if they're willing to accept the feedback that we're giving.
I still think that admin knows better about this deal than we do. And how good do you think you can do to get it filled? I'm being honest here, I don't want to pawn this off. I think I'd go with what you guys say.
I think we can get it filled. I just worry about this situation. I know it's difficult on everybody, and that's the pits.
You ever run risk, do we ever run any risk of getting sued because we didn't let somebody out of a contract and then we let somebody else out?
That's, yep.
So is it possible to interview candidates before we accept her resignation?
I don't mind.
I mean, is that
Yeah.
all kosher?
Yeah.
Is our meetings in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, we should. On the 11th.
It's Monday the 11th.
But, I mean, again, it's still not gonna matter because she's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whether we accept a resignation now or in 2 weeks, her plan is to leave.
Last year,
And
you know-
I guess
Sorry.
I guess my only question at that point, and this is the hard part, is what you had just said about, are we have a chance of being sued for letting someone out and not someone else? In which case, the only thing that would ensure that is the
Suitable
the,
replacement.
well, but, and I can't remember last year, I don't know why, but is with the Professional Practices Commission, I mean, can you request 6 months, not a year?
It was 2 years ago, it wasn't last year.
So,
Yeah, it was
okay,
2
I was
years
gonna
ago.
say, 'cause
That
I was,
was January.
okay,
And it was in January.
I thought I
It'll
was
be
losing
2
my
years in
mind.
January.
Okay,
Isn't there a
But she wasn't
policy?
gonna go with
Don't we
education.
have policy?
what does the policy state on there?
I don't know if there's
Is
a
that
policy,
this?
it's a contract,
It's a contract.
it's a teacher contract.
And
But my point is that I don't remember what we did with the last one,
We
did
did
we?
not approve the resignation.
We did not approve it.
But that was, I'm leaving
And
tomorrow.
they
and,
left anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. Just look at the teacher license and fair rest.
And she was moving to Colorado.
Oh, right, okay. Now I remember.
And years ago, we had a counselor that moved to Florida, but I don't think they let him out.
And does that just mean that until the end of the contract, she would be able to work for another school district?
In the state of
In the
Nebraska.
State of
State of
Nebraska,
Nebraska.
because she went down to Florida.
And that way then, if that was what we did in this case and not approve it, then we're covered with what we've done in the past.
So we have one other year out of the contract.
What?
We have one other year out of the contract. Let's see. Jody.
That was late.
Was right at the beginning of
Oh,
Different scenarios, but I mean,
yeah. I mean, I wanna do what's right by Mrs. Thacker, but I also wanna make sure that we are, that we're safe. And then, you know, you guys are in charge of finding.
I make a motion that we
Before we
table
say
this
too much, yeah.
Until November.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
We have a motion already on the table to approve the resignation with the condition of finding a replacement. Do we have a second for that? If we do not have a second, that motion is going to fail. And we'll reopen for motion.
Okay, now I'd like to make a motion to table this until the November meeting.
I just don't get like, sorry, you can talk.
No, I was just, I'm not sure. What are we gonna learn in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I doubt we have somebody hired.
You're right.
But
We must have some candidates, but I'm not sure we'll have a plan.
Unless you get interviewed.
Well, you bring up a good point there, so.
It's a bad situation. And I don't want to punish anybody, right? Especially our kids, though.
If we agree that there's no benefit, in all honesty, I would second Dave's. But it's already dead.
It's already dead, and you've made one.
You made a first motion.
You've already made a first motion, so no.
Is that one gonna fail? Is there a second?
Is there a second for
Well,
Mr. Rushman's
table
motion?
to November.
Just to table it till.
To table this till the November regular meeting.
Well, if nothing else, it gives us a pinch more time to think about it,
Can I mention one last thing? Am I allowed to?
I guess. Yeah, you can talk.
Okay. You know, I've done ample research and everything, and there is no good way, easy way, right way to cancel a contract or anything like that. I've looked, but I will tell you that it does state, I'll get you the information, that having a spouse leave and not being within commuting distance is a liable and viable reason as to why a contract may be broken. I'm not saying that you guys have your decision, okay? I'm not trying to pressure you or anything like that, but I am, stating that it does happen. And I know, unfortunately, it's happened for you guys in the past. But please keep in mind that I've been here for 6 years. If I didn't want to leave, I'm uprooting my entire family. I was a freshman. I didn't want to leave either. So, you can table it, that's fine. But
It's not gonna change the outcome.
it's not gonna change anything, and he just wants to tell his friends. And I told him, you can't say anything to them until I get board approval or disapproval. So, that's it.
So on my motion.
We have a motion to table this until the next meeting. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table this until the November 11th meeting. Dave.
I think it's November 13th meeting.
November 13th?
We're doing Wednesday.
13.
It's a Wednesday.
Okay.
I thought you were working on
2 weeks.
11.
Hold on a second. Okay, anyway, we have a
Okay.
roll call.
Mr. Rushman,
Yes?
Mr. Shoemaker,
No.
Mr. Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mr. Benish,
No.
Mr. Borges,
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest.
No.
Okay, 3-3.
3-3.
Motion failed then, right?
Motion failed.
I just don't see what we're gonna get accomplished.
Right, I think maybe.
November, what we're
I
not.
think maybe a prudent thing to do would be to, and the point that she brought up about a viable reason to break a contract, maybe we can talk to John, maybe you can talk to John about that. And we can discuss that at the next meeting.
Whether
Because
it's-
I get that, that's, you know, it's not like he's moving to Cheyenne.
Yes, can we please?
I
Please.
need a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
I said I need.
Oh, sorry, I make a motion to go into executive session
For the
at
purpose of-
4:40.
For the
For the purpose of personnel matter.
Say that.
For the purposes of personnel matter.
I'll
second.
Yeah. Yes.
Mrs. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Rushman?
Yes.
Are we still continuing with American Civics after this?
Yeah. Motion is second to come out of executive session. Roll call.
Who was the first and second?
Sam was the first, Dave was the second.
David was the second. Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Borges?
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Rushman?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
And 501?
Sorry.
I,
Come back in.
no, we already did it. I will make the motion to not approve Mrs. Thacker's resignation.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Borges?
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Rushman?
No.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes, with regret.
Mr. Wiedemann?
No.
Okay. Now, the next regular informational items, the next regular meeting is November 13th.
Yes.
All
At
right.
At what time?
4 o'clock.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Assuming Monday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The 11th was a Monday.
Right around to work, I think.
Did you say 4?
You always miss.
Yeah. 4 p.m. What's up?
You always miss.
I don't know.
And just, I'll also be gone, I'll be out of town, but I can have it set up, so we can just push buttons.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'm giving it to Suzie.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Borges?
Yes.
Mrs. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Rushman?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
503.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Thacker.
I'll be right back into the.
I'm gonna go read
Can we sit
this.
around and listen to the civics meeting?
Yes, you
I've
may.
never listened to one and I want to.
Do you want that recorded?
No.
No?
What? They can sit with me while you guys talk.
You don't need to record.
What's the other